guys, Editor Cat here, saying, by the time you guys see this video, I will probably be live on the channel posting a new live stream for Ghost of Yote. But I wanted to share this video because, oh, I felt so good, good after playing this match, because I'm playing these few matches with Bardock, because first off, I wanted to show off the fact that I was able to finally pull his legendary emote, and so I was very happy about that. But I wanted to showcase these matches because I just wanted to show you and show you what it's like playing Bardock, because honestly, every time I play Bardock, it seems like no matter how often I play my main, I always get teammates that want to throw. Every single time. It's always just with my main. I can be playing Kefla, and I can carry my team by myself. I don't have to worry about my teammates if I'm playing Kefla. I just can carry the entire team without a single care in the world. That's how strong she is. And she is. But Bardock, on the other hand, while he is definitely considered one of the best tanks in the game because of his wrath mechanic, honestly, I will stand by this to the day I die. Doesn't matter how good Bardock is, as long as your team is not competent, you're not getting any wins. And I want to showcase specifically three matches. One match is where, two matches in particular are the stars of this show, because the very first match, we're going to pay attention to one player who basically rage quit and threw the entire match when we were winning. We were winning the entire match. But then, later on in the video, we end up running into that exact same player. And I had to unleash my pride as a Saiyan warrior on this character. I was not going to end up getting another loss because of this same person. So yeah, I hope everyone enjoys the video. This is your host, the Mario Shadow, and I will see you guys next time. So, I'm going to try my best to do some commentary over most of this video. So, we're going to be starting off with game number 1 here. And, of course, we're going through the whole tirade of seeing our divine draws. We get enemy bomb and medical respawn. You know, really bad, divine draws as per usual. I choose Bardock like I wanted to, and I'm waiting for everyone else to select their characters. The minute I saw our team lineup, I was like, oh, this is actually going to be really, really bad. Because let's be honest with ourselves here, Deborah and Android 18 suck. They suck right now. They are not good characters right now. But I had the benefit of the doubt, because as a person who has played Android 18, I know that even though she's not in a good spot right now, given if she's put in the right hands, she can definitely go far. But unfortunately, I was not prepared for the fact that this Android 18 was an absolute degenerate. I was not prepared for the fact that this Android 18 would be the cause of us losing our first match. And also, I also hated the fact that I ran into yet another Bardock Ditto. I swear, I'll be so glad when this season is over and they decide to, if they do decide to nerf Bardock, fine. I'm okay with that, because honestly, the minute he is nerfed and people start moving on to other characters, especially whatever new characters come in the next season, I will be so glad, because then I can finally dedicate myself to Bardock. And watch as all of the so-called Bardock mains right now that are only playing him because he's super strong moves on. But anyways, we are playing like normal. We're collecting levels to go on and match into our first encounter. I see that Vegito has joined the Bardock, which honestly I'm not surprised. I'm surprised whenever you see a character like Vegito or Oob or Bojack or even Kefla, they usually tend to follow the Bardock. However, in some instances, whenever I see a Kefla on my team and I'm playing on Bardock, they tend to go into the upper lane, which I find to be a very weird decision, because the upper lane I feel like is not a good place for Kefla to go, mainly because when Jackie Chun spawns in, she can't really contest him. She can't really contest him at all. Contest him at all. It's like she would be better on the lower lane, to take out Nappa, but hey, to each their own. Anyways, as you can see, I am off to a rough start. I end up using my little raft mechanic a bit too soon. And one thing I am noticing about Bardock, I don't know if he's been shadow nerfed or whatnot, but the thing about his little barrier is that every time I use it and draws people in, it never activates. It never activates, and I find that very, very weird. Especially against a character like Vegito. Every time I use it against him, he could just use an ability like his little homing shot ability, and it just does nothing. Anyways, as you can see, Bardock ended up killing Android 18, and I am trying desperately to get her back into the match. And as you can see, this is where it begins. She ends up going AFK right here, and I was like, oh. Okay, but then she ends up recalling back to spawn, and I'm like, okay, cool, cool. But I had noticed that Jackie Chun had spawned in, so I was like, okay, that's cool. She's going up to the top to contest with Jackie Chun. And Chun, I would try to join them as soon as I physically can, because the one thing you gotta be cautious about is getting power crept by the other players in by the enemy team, and I needed to get Bardock to level 7 immediately, because at the moment he is strong, but even so, and so if I get him to level 7, that will just put me at an advantage over the other team. We're already at a pretty decent advantage, and I was so desperately wanting to dive into the God of Destruction, kill the Ultimate Gohan. Like, let's be real. Ultimate Gohan, fighting Ultimate Gohan is never fun because he is just so damn annoying. And I'm going ahead and targeting Jackie Chun to try and whittle him down just a bit. I was kind of hoping that my teammates would end up coming over to help me out, but it seems like they were too preoccupied with something else. I end up using my ulti to try and chip away at Jackie Chun's health just a bit. I end up pushing the Bojack away, which was just enough to stagger him a little bit, and it also kind of got the Gohan nervous and moved him away, which I was finally able to follow up with a Rebellion Smash and hit Jackie Chun and get the point. And I tried to rush back to our god because I had noticed that it was getting attacked by Vegito, and can we just say, people who rat the gods is by far the lowest scum of the universe. I cannot stand dealing with a rat game at all. Like yesterday, for example, I ended up playing Bardock, and we were doing fine for the most part, but then we got ratted out by the enemy team's Kefla, and I think it was Gotenks, and I was like, why do people play like this? Like, seriously, why do people play like this? This is not fun. This is not even remotely fun. Like you think you earned that win? You literally robbed us of a well-earned victory by just hitting up the gods. Anyways, I knock out Ultimate Gohan, which is a big deal. Right now, because if Ultimate Gohan came back, it would have been very hard to claim Nappa, but unfortunately, my Gohan ended up getting knocked out, I believe, by the enemy, by the Nappa, and once again, I have to backtrack because Vegito ratted Sidra, so I had to leave Nappa behind to go and tackle Vegito before he ended up trying to rat Hellas. And I was able to get the kill on him, which is also really a big deal because Vegito is a really, really good character, and if you can get rid of him almost immediately, that's honestly good. Now I'm back on a Nappa. I'm trying to take out and take out the Bardock because I feel like getting rid of Bardock here would be an excellent move. I get rid of the Bardock. He flew right back into my Rebellion trigger, which is honestly a bad move in his case. I end up clutching Nappa at the last second, and now I'm destroying the medical respawn pod on Bardock, so no one can respawn him. I'm coming in to try and clutch up and finish up the Bojack, killed the Bojack, and now I'm attacking his medical respawn pod, so Vegito can't respawn him. I'm trying to knock him away from Gohan's pod. Unfortunately, it was not enough. He was able to clear out Gohan's pod. I dropped Kaba to make sure I could keep some defense and continue to fight, but now Vegito's trying to rush to Hellas again. Unfortunately, Hellas's Hakai barrier comes back up, and now Vegito's in awful position where it's like he can't really get away from us. There's three of us here, and one of them is Ultimate Gohan, who can just keep knocking him back towards us, and with me being able to knock him away from his escape, it's just even worse. So now we're over here targeting Jocko. Now I thought we actually claimed Jocko, but I didn't notice that we actually did not get the final hit on it. On him. I was a bit upset about that, but it was fine. Fine. We were already two bosses up. All we needed to do was claim Ribrianne, and it would be a triple boss scenario, and we would win. Now, I tried to stay over here by Hellas because Zeno is here, because I know that Vegito is already trying to rat us out, so I end up sticking around here just in case he tried to come over here, but I see that most of them are huddling up over by their god. So I end up leaving to go and collect some more levels. I get to level 11. I max out Rebellion Smash as well as my Wrath mechanic, which is really, really good. Now here, unfortunately, our Android 18 died. And I think that was unavoidable because I think she did get jumped by most of the team. And here's where things fall apart, because somebody ends up submitting a vote to surrender. I was like, why are we submitting a vote to surrender? We're winning. And then I see it. Our Android 18 is sitting perfectly still in spawn. So she was the one that voted to surrender. This guy, born from pain, decided for us to quit. And since we didn't quit, he rage quit. I was desperately trying to do enough damage to Ribrianne to try and turn this around, but unfortunately, Vegito's in the back. He's ratting with Bardock and Gohan, and then we lose the match. So kudos to the rest of my team, but because of this Android 18, this absolute scum of the earth, we lose a match that we were obviously winning. And what's worse, this was such a good match for me because I never died. I didn't die one damn time. We were doing so damn well, but no, this fucker decides, nah, we lose just because he died. Like, who ends up doing that? Who even has the audacity to do that to a team in a multiplayer game? It's like we were winning, jackass. Why did you rage quit? Anyway, that was match 1, so we are going to move on to match 2 in just a few seconds. I was very upset right here, so I'm just staring at the scorecard. I was really upset because I did so well. Game number 2, we have Cloud Cloak and Cloud Cover. This is really a good divine draw for hit, and what do you know? We get another hit. Now, Now at this point, I was very, very, very tilted, and when I saw the fact that we had yet another Android 18, I was like, oh god, not again. Again, is this going to be my day? Are we just going to see a bunch of Android 18s and they all suck? Suck. But fortunately for my case, I again gave them the benefit of the doubt because they weren't the same guy from before. So I figured, you know what? People don't really know how to play around hit because unless you are adamant on keeping hit locked down, hit can get away with a lot of shit. And the only thing that I was very nervous about was the Trunks because honestly, Trunks, I feel like most people who play Trunks just doesn't know how to play him properly. Like him being built around an assassin playstyle, you can't really be like super aggressive. You have to play smart with him. Unlike Kefla, where you don't really have to play too smart with her. Like, yeah, she's a glass cannon, like Trunks, but I feel like you can get away with a little bit more than Trunks can. Like, in his case, if he dies, it really really holds him back like a lot. So yeah. Anyways, Trunks follows me on the bottom lane. Hit and Android 18 go up top. We are getting levels, and in comes the first Supreme Kai. I drop my Kaba to actually get some defense. I see Broly in the background charging up a gigantic smash to try and knock out the Supreme Kai away from us, but we were able to claim it. And now Bardock is here. It's just a 1v1 where both throwing hands. I'm trying to knock him away from the God of Destruction to try and get a kill, but unfortunately, I was not able to land that last hit necessary, and unfortunately, he was able to escape with 1 HP, and then Broly comes in and just kills me. This is a setup. This is absolutely a setup. It's like every time I get someone to 1 HP, they are somehow miraculously able to get away, but if I'm ever knocked to 1 HP, I can't get away. I can never get away. Wait, I don't understand it. I was very mad that Bardock was able to get away because, again, like I said, I enjoy playing Bardock. I really do. I mean, Bardock is overall my favorite Dragon Ball character, like, period. But I was so damn upset that he got away. And I was also upset that Rebellion Trigger did not hit Broly there. I was like, damn, he is so close to dying. If I could get him to die, that would be such a good thing. I fat-fingered my ulti here. I really did not mean to use my ulti there. And Trunks is nowhere to be found. Found to try and help me clear out these two. But he finally shows back up. We take out the Kai. I get to level 6. Level-wise, we have the advantage. We are 2 levels above the enemy team. I decide to move on from the bottom lane to the top lane because Jackie Chun had spawned, and I was going to go and help our upper lane try and claim him. And for the most part, we were doing just fine. Android 18 is already attacking Jackie Chun, but she's not attacking the real one. She keeps missing the real one by just a hair. So we are desperately trying to clear it out, and again, early stage Bardock just does no damage. Unfortunately, Trunks comes in at the last second and ends up killing Jackie Chun, which really tilted me. I was like, why is it every time it always comes down to a last second steal? It always comes down to a last second steal. If it's me trying to get a kill unkilled, they always escape at the last second. If we're trying to get a boss, it always comes down to a last second mechanic. I was not in a good headspace. I was like, why didn't our Hit come and help us claim this boss? If Hit was here, we would have definitely claimed the boss, but I was not in a good mood. Trunks is in the back leveling up, and I was already like, why hasn't Trunks leveled up? It would be so beneficial to us if you level up. And here I see the Gohan trying to run away from Trunks. I desperately wanted to attack him, but because of stupid cloud cover, cover, my attack does not register that someone is right there in front of me. So I was like, you know what? I don't care. He just gets away. So now me and Trunks is attacking Nappa and now Trunks uses his ulti. We are able to claim him, which is awesome. Awesome. That is so good. Now we're going back to the Supreme Kai to get some levels. We are at a very good level advantage. I go ahead and pop my transformation because honestly, having Bardock at transformed is a lot better. I see Broly here. I am going to try and knock him out. I get the special KO finisher on him, and I ship the God, and now we are one God up. I wanted to try and get the Gohan, but let's be honest, he's by far the fastest support in the game. There's no way I was keeping up with him. And my rebellion trigger, or whatever the first ability is called, the charging punch. It doesn't really go that far if it's not leveled up. And honestly, with Bardock, it's okay to leave it unleveled for a time. You really want to get your skill 2 and skill 3 leveled up immediately. Level up immediately because that Wrath barrier and Rebellion Smash are by far his best moves. And then, of course, if you can level up your ulti to make it bigger, that is going to be so much better because honestly, let's be real, his ulti is by far the worst ulti in the game. It's like it's not really useful as a kill tool. It's only really useful to actually push people away from stuff, which is how I use it. It's like trying to use it any other way. Now here, honestly, I was very upset about this. You'll see that's a common trend here. I'm going to be very upset because Trunks was screaming, was pinging for us to attack the God. Like, he was pinging for us to attack the God. But where's Trunks? In the top lane with Android 18, who has yet to move from the top lane to actually help us with anything. Like, Android 18, 18, aside from attacking Jackie Chun, has not left the top lane once. And that was also annoying because I feel like out of everyone, Android 18 was definitely the one holding us back because I think by the time the match ends, I looked at the scorecard and they had the highest deaths on our team, which was very upsetting. Now I'm on Jocko and I am pinging for somebody to come join me to take out Jocko, but as you can see, my entire team died. Because they all tried to contest the God. And now I'm trying to claim Jocko for us. I get Jocko, and luckily my hit and Android 18 spawned, so and by the time I died, it was not a team wipe, which would have actually hurt us a lot, but we were able to get Jocko, which is good. I do not understand why the devs decided to buff the health of Jocko and Ribrianne, because when you look at the characters that released today, I'm released in this season, Bardock is by far the least impressive in my opinion, because both Vegito and Kefla are both damage demons, like they do ridiculous amount of damage, and then you have Bardock, whose only saving grace is the fact that he's better, basically a better version of General Rildo. And Rildo, like that's all he is. And literally the minute they decide to nerf him in any way, I feel like he's going to suffer drastically. He's going to suffer drastically. If anything, I feel like, yeah, if they do nerf his Wrath mechanic, sure, fine, I can see that coming a mile away. But for all fuck's sake, buff his damage. His damage is so bad. It is so damn bad. Like his skill 3 and his skill 1 needs way more damage, and I feel like his ulti would be better if it had a damage over time effect, where it was like, the minute it hits somebody while they're being pushed away, it does damage. That's what I feel like. But the match ends abruptly because the enemy team surrendered, and I was like, ooh, I don't understand why they surrendered. surrendered. Even after looking at the score, I was like, I don't see why the enemy team surrendered. Their Trunks ended up dying 7 times, but their Broly was dominating the entire match. But I end up reporting the Android 18 because she did hold us back. She wasn't really doing much of anything. Anyway, that is how the second match ended. So now we're going to move on to the third match. I end up ranking back up to B3 because I kept D ranking. But anyways, moving on to the next match. And now we are back. Back with match 3. And this team looks a lot better than the last one. We end up getting a Bojack and a Kefla. And Bojack is really strong now. Like, I cannot stress how good Bojack is right now. I don't play him, but I've seen enough gameplay to know that you do not sleep on Bojack. If you don't end up contesting Bojack, you end up losing matches. I'm honestly surprised Bojack ended up going in the bottom lane with me, but honestly, I do see a lot of Bojacks going into the bottom lane with the tank, so I was a little bit happy about that. Kefla, I still feel like works best in the bottom lane, but it's fine. Gotenks was by far the one thing that I was worried about on our team, but that all changed when I happened to look at the enemy team and I happened to see one name. I was like, wait, Born from Pain. That's the Android 18 that rage quit in the first match, and I was like, ooh, I see blood. I was like, I see blood. There's blood in the water. I feel an unbridled rage deep within my soul. I have to let my Saiyan pride carry me through this match, because I was not going to let this guy cause me to have another loss. So I had to make sure that I shut this guy down. I wanted this team to lose so damn badly. And I was not going to be happy if we lost. So the match starts. Me and Bojack are going in to level up. I imagined that Android 18 was going to go in the upper lane. This time, because there was a Bojack on the enemy team. So I imagined that Bojack was definitely going to go on the lower lane. So I kind of was hoping Android 18 would contest the lower lane with the cooler. But I was like, you know what? If Bojack shows up, that's fine. I'm fine. But I have my eye on you, Android 18. I don't care what it takes. I am not going to let you end up killing. And since we got Team Rush Go, I was like, ooh, this is going to be absolutely abysmal for the enemy team, because because when my teammate is near me, my attack range and speed ends up increasing. And considering how Bardock works, where the more damage he takes, he ends up generating shockwaves with his attack, with his regular attack, I was like, ooh, this is going to be a really good match. Team Rush Go is a really good, good divine draw with him. Now, couple that with Super Start, you basically have a winnable match, winnable Bardock match. Like, that is by far the best kind of divine draw for Bardock. Because he already has basically Team Rush Go equipped to him, because once his gauge is revenge gauge is filled, all of his attack speed and whatnot is automatically increased. In comes Cooler again. I was like, sir, you are not getting this, Kai. And Kai, but I spoke too soon. They were able to get it. But since Bojack is right next to me, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna end up making this miserable for you, And what misery was I able to put on him? He was about to die again, but unfortunately their God of Destruction came back up. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not contesting this because I am pretty low. I'm pretty low health. But here comes Bojack. I end up clashing with him, and now I'm using my Wrath mechanic to get some damage on him. Bojack is trying to escape. I tried to follow up with Rebellion Trigger, but it misses. Misses because he ducked into a cloud, and I didn't see which way he turned. But now, both him and Cooler are contesting the Supreme Kai again. But my ulti comes up, and I was like, yeah, Bojack, if you're going to stand here, you're going to die. And die, because even though my ulti doesn't really do that much damage in comparison to other ultis, and it's not really that great, in the whole, well, it's really good for pushing people back, but damage-wise, it's definitely by far the worst one. But I knew the damage output of my ulti was just enough to kill Bojack at the health percentage he was at. So now, me, Gotenks, and Kefla are trying to attack Jackie Chun, but I see Android 18, I see someone trying to sneak the god, and what you know it is Android 18! I was like, yeah, no, you're going to die. You're going to die here today, and I'm making sure you die. And die. I end up using my rebellion trigger to try and dive into the god, but unfortunately she makes it in at the last fucking second with 1 HP. I was like, fuck! I really wanted them to die. I really wanted them to die. But now I got my full gauge. Everyone's trying to contest me. I'm popping my Wrath mechanic to make sure that I don't die and die. Cooler transforms in my face, and that's my cue to leave. So I head back into Beerus's domain, and domain get some health. Nappa respawns. I end up pinging for everyone to come together to try and take out Nappa. And Nappa, Jackie Chun, unfortunately got claimed by the enemy team, and for some strange reason I got stuck here. Bojack is already on lock trying to take out Nappa, but unfortunately he miscalculated his attack, his ulti, and it misses, and unfortunately they come in and claim the god, claim the boss at the last fucking second. Again, it comes down to a last second attack yet again. Yet again. And Gohan is over here trying to attack Sidra. I'm like, bro, no, you are not getting away. So I come in with 2 rebellion smashes, and that seals the deal. Gohan dies, which is a really good thing. Somebody is trying to claim this god. It was Gotenks, and now we have 3 people up top. Bojack ends up transforming. I see Android 18 again. I'm like, I want you dead, but she gets away. And unfortunately, my ulti, which I was intending to try and snipe her with, ends up going the opposite direction. It was not the way I intended it for it to go. Android 18 tries to come in and try and snipe me with an attack as I'm trying to run away, but she misses, which honestly not surprising considering how bad they played in our first match. And now I see Kefla pinging Rumshi saying to defend it, and now Ribrian is coming up. Now unfortunately they have 2 bosses ahead, a 2-boss advantage, so we had to claim this boss. If we did not claim this boss, it was pretty much game over. So I ping for everyone to gather up. I'm trying to get some more levels to keep the level advantage up. I see someone trying to rush for our God of Destruction. It's apparently cooler. He gets stuck on Trunks's time machine, and here comes Bojack trying to end up snipe us with some attacks. It wasn't enough. I'm attacking Cooler. I see that he is very tanky, which means he might have a bit of a point lead ahead of me, but everyone is trying to take me out. It's not really working in their advantage. And then, wouldn't you know it, I happen to look up towards our spawn, and our Gotenks is just sitting there. I was adamantly upset when I saw that. I was like, bro, do not throw the match. Do not throw the match. I was like, I have to come back and protect Rumshi, because if I don't, they can come here and rat him out. Luckily, though, Bojack was protecting the lower lane, and he had the highest point advantage on the team, so I was like, yeah. I pinged Gotenks to let everyone know that he is sitting in spawn, but he does inevitably come back. So I imagine something came up and he just had to step away. Unfortunately, this Unfortunately, I do believe we lose Sidra here, which is kind of upsetting. But um, but we do get a kill on the Android 18, which I was like, you know what? I don't care if we lose the God of Destruction. I'm just happy Android 18 died by my hand. So yeah, I was very happy about that. Now the last boss has come up. I'm asking everyone to come together to come and claim this boss because again, we cannot let them claim this boss. If they claim this boss, we lose. We just lose. Gotenks is protecting the upper lane, and Kefla and Bojack are already on the boss. I'm deciding to go back and get some health so I can go and help them. And Kefla somehow gets the point on Kitella. I'm trying desperately to get the last hit. I get the last hit, which is awesome. Awesome. So we are able to making sure they can't get a triple boss. I'm trying to chase after this Bojack to try and kill him. I end up missing because he dodges my my rebellion trigger at the last possible second, but it wasn't enough. Kefla comes in, and I get the final hit on him, getting the assist, and the enemy team surrenders with us getting the victory. This one goes to And of course, Kefla walks away with the MVP, which honestly I'm not surprised. Kefla was doing really, really well. So I can give them a like for their good work. I do end up reporting the Android 18 again because I do imagine the reason they surrendered is because Android 18 rage quit again. Again, I would not be surprised, but honestly, I didn't care. I felt good that I got my revenge on this absolute bastard. So yeah, that is how this video comes to an end. I walk away with 2 wins back to back, 1 loss, and claiming revenge on a person who rage quit in my match. So I hope everyone enjoyed the video. By the time I end up uploading this, I will be going live with some more Ghost of Yote. So thank you all for watching, and as always, your host, Amari Shadow, saying along Z, and I'll see you for the next adventure. Goodbye, everyone!